And welcome to the We Like Sportz show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus. And who are these guys? We know my co-host, Keith, who shows up regularly. CJ, I'll give you credit because this is the second week in a row. But this guy is Baker Mayfield, who's Casey in Orlando. What is up, my guy?
I should have put Baker in Tampa.
Well, so yeah, you should have. But hey, so what's been going on with you? And obviously, did you come here to gloat about Baker's 158.3 rating in Green Bay yesterday?
That is not why I came on. That is not why. That was a great point. I should have did that. Could have had my headband. Could have had everything for him, but I forgot about that because Keith loves him so much. So
you're on here to say, Ed in Columbus, I missed you. Is that why?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like The Rock when he had that promo when it's like The Rock has finally came home. That's what it is right now. Yeah,
I feel it. I feel the love. But yeah, we had a great day in the NFL yesterday. But every week in the NFL, there's always amazing games, and everything. But it just so happens that one of our favorite teams, the Cleveland Browns, are now 9-5 after their victory of the Chicago Bears 20-17. I just want to go around here real quick because David Njoku said basically he was going to shit his pants when that ball was in the air. CJ, what was your reaction when you saw that play?
I don't know. Just guttural screams of like, oh my God, like he fucking dropped it. Like, I mean, it's just to say, it's a new era. He catches that. He catches that before. Keith,
how did you feel?
Well, when the ball's
in the air, you see everything that transpires, and basically, how the hell did that Darnay Mooney not catch it? But he didn't. So, what were you thinking?
I was thinking like Njoku. Like I was about to be like, damn, oh, shit. He ain't about to catch this, please.
Casey lights up.
Casey, what were you thinking?
I mean, like CJ said, like the Browns are the Browns, so I'm used to seeing that land in his lap, catch it, and then me do this. Just like the kicker, right? I was not in a long time, but like I said, I remember this a long time ago. Having a kicker makes a difference.
Yes.
You see every single week, Dustin Hopkins, how many games he won because of Hopkins, right? Coming into the clutch. If we had York, it wouldn't have happened, right? So like CJ said, we've seen this happen so many times. I cannot believe he didn't catch that. Or I can't believe we weren't the team that hits him in the hands and it bounces off. Like that's
so much like old Brown to me was like, just I hope to God they kick a field goal right now. Like if they throw a Hail Mary, they're gonna catch it. It's like just kick a field goal. Please, Bears, kick a field goal.
It reminded me about when I was 11 years old, matter of fact. And the Browns was the Cardiac Kids. Back when Brian Sipe, Don Cockcroft, and they played Minnesota in a December game. And Tommy Kramer was the quarterback. And it was the same scenario, a Hail Mary late. And Ahmad Rashad caught it.
He wasn't Ahmad Rashad at the time, though, was he, Keith? Or was he? Because he had a different name when he played football.
No, he was Ahmad Rashad. Yeah,
was he? Okay, because he had changed. I remember he changed his name, kind of like Lou Alcindor, kind of did Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he was under a different name before the Ahmad Rashad, the NBA inside stuff that we saw in the 90s.
Man, and that day I was like, oh, we got to go to Cincinnati the next week. But this time it worked out for us. And it just showed me you don't have to play your best game, but as long as you're in it at the end, you have a shot.
When it matters, yeah.
Casey, I see you're drinking the champagne of beers again. Is that what we got going on?
Yeah, correct. I am.
Okay, show the audience the love right there.
It was an honor of this. I haven't had
a sponsor. They're a sponsor.
Right, they're an unpaid sponsor. Absolutely, yeah.
They're a sponsor.
Yeah,
sponsor me.
Oh my gosh, this is like a Christmas homecoming right here.
You're gonna like sports.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
Like sports.
Did I hear homecoming?
It's not We Like Sportz without Peyton Vince.
Well, I figured I'd end up being, as CJ coined last week, too. It's not just Peyton Vince. It's Peyton in Pittsburgh. I'm wearing my black and yellow flannel today, too.
I see that.
God, yeah, you're down bad.
Are you in the basement like the Steelers right now, or?
There's a couple of numbers I'm trying to end up calling right now. And
if you shaved your beard, you look like Connor Stallions. If you shave that beard, you look like
that could be who it is.
Is it the forehead?
He's undercover.
It's just, there's a lot of forehead.
Oh, geez.
Peyton Vince.
Who's the dog? What's the special guest? I didn't know we had an
He
interview.
just is like all over the place right
Swagger the third.
now. I want to, you know what? If I got him now, I would have called him Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco.
This Duke, I
Flacco
wanted to
and
call him
Flacco.
Buck.
Peyton Vince, my son shares your pain with you.
You know, it's a lot of pain, and it's a lot of pain probably for the first time since 2020 when I ended up probably getting the same text messages he got when the Browns beat him.
Yeah, you know what Peyton is right now? Peyton's in his name if you subtract the T and the O.
Oh, man.
Pain.
I'm like, hold on, I have to see that.
I know. Yeah, this is.
But you know what? Peyton? On the real side, I want y'all to win y'all last 2 or 3 games.
Who are they playing?
My prophecy will be
Ravens.
fulfilled. What I said earlier, and Ed knows what I'm talking about. When I said all 4 teams in the AFC North will finish over 500.
Because it's
I'm
Nick
so
Brown.
sick of hearing that with Mike Tomlin. Everything he's got going for him. He's over 500.
Tomlin ain't having that.
I want to know what the dog thought about yesterday. Actually, I'm more
He
interested
wasn't
in
a
what
part
the
of
dog.
it.
Yeah,
He
good.
He's a college football dog. I watched the NFL with my dad's. He's a college
He's not a
football
bulldog, though.
No, but he's a college. We support all college football.
CJ,
Buddy.
speaking of college football, now this is I'm gonna go behind the curtain a little bit to Ed in Columbus this Saturday because I watched my son's basketball game. Shout out to Taze Valley. They took down Circleville and came home. Fell asleep, took a little nap, watched Ohio State beat UCLA. But then I thought, okay, so many sports options going on. You know what I ended up watching? A great college football game, but not one that you would think. I watched FBS game between Montana and North Dakota State. What a game. Went into overtime. And I'll tell you what, there's something to be said about football playoffs with lower tiered schools because those kids throw everything on the field. Now, the Montana Washington Grizzly Stadium, they were living it up, and it was a fun. I couldn't stop but watching, and it was actually better action than I'd seen from Ohio State a little bit this year.
I thought you were going to say Appalachian State and Miami of Ohio.
I watched. Now that game was fun too, but the rain.
You know,
The rain game.
That's
man.
about 20 minutes from my apartment.
bad
Yeah,
football.
that was a horrible storm that's projected for that day. It hit there. It didn't hit that bad over where I'm at, but yes, that in the arena was empty. If you saw the
I
stands,
saw that it was.
there was like 20
No
people in
such
the
thing as
crowd.
Bad football, Ed.
That was the avocados from Mexico for a cure bowl.
Yes,
That
Cure
one.
Bowl, the Cure Bowl. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I forgot him.
That was on for like 10
Yes.
What
minutes.
a name!
Yes, I swear to God.
What's
That's
the
what it said, yeah.
abbreviation of that?
Yeah, right.
I don't even know.
I'm going to be getting one of those shirts that says it on there.
Well, you already got a Miles Straw jersey, so it
Perfect
fits the mold for you
example.
to
I
get
will tell you
represented.
this.
Quite the collection.
We got boots on the ground in Orlando, right? Because right here. I went to the Cavs game against the Magic where they lost. But the night theme was Jewish heritage themed. And the halftime show was like lighting a menorah and a rabbi doing like the whole thing. That was a unique experience. I will tell you that at a basketball game. That is very
So,
unique.
question: since there's boots on the ground, is Orlando a predominantly Jewish area then?
Yeah, so the weird thing too is no one on the team for either team was Jewish. So like you would think that if they have that,
man.
yeah, but you would think if they have the Heritage Night, one of the players would be Jewish. Like for the Nuggets had like the Heritage Night for Jokic when he got ejected.
Yeah.
Right? They had it because of him. I would have assumed a player was Jewish. No, there's no player that was Jewish. They were giving out guns like the cannons. They were shooting out the shirts, and it was Jewish Heritage Night on the shirts. And I said, a good thing I didn't catch one of those because I'll be wearing it today if I would have caught one of them.
You'd be wearing it as a cutoff. You don't even probably go to the gym that often anymore. But you'd be tearing that
It would have been a
shirt up.
Secret Santa gift. I'd have regifted it for a Secret Santa. That'll be at CJ's door for Christmas.
I'm even
Back
Jewish.
the dog.
Catholic. I just look Jewish.
But Ed, it's ironic you mentioned that game because I too almost did that, but I didn't. Unlike you, I ended up actually seeing North Dakota State, and I'm like, North Dakota State, where Carson Wentz went, where the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers are playing with, and I'm like, oh, it might be a sign. And I didn't watch it, but I just knew 2 guys that went to North Dakota State, and I'm like, maybe this is a sign for me to watch this game. But thankfully, we had the coverage from you, though. We really.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a great football game. The atmosphere was wonderful. And hey, shout out to Montana Grizzlies. They're going to the championship game to play South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. So check that out next weekend.
Adam Vinatieri went there, South Dakota State.
They also had a good basketball run too, didn't they? SDS.
Yeah, Nate Walters.
Yeah.
Look at us. Shout out SDSU.
Right.
Well-rounded program.
Yeah. We like sports and we like all of them.
We love college.
That's right.
Yes.
That's 8 years.
He loves co-eds. That is correct.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get back to a little NFL talk. So, I love to harp on the Browns and say about the Pittsburgh Steelers being in the basement, but I will let Peyton Vincer and Peyton in Pittsburgh off the hook a little bit. But Peyton, we talked about, we named the show because you gave me some inspiration with the name of this with fourth quarter Flacco. So what is it about Joe Flacco? What do you like about it? And what do you wish that basically your team had that the Browns have in Joe Flacco?
Honestly, if you want the short answer, which you're not going to get, it's going to be a longer answer. But the short answer would be we'd love Flacco at this point. But the long answer is the Steelers are rough right now. The Steelers, I picked against them this past week against the Colts when I've been a homer for most of the season. I mean, I don't know if it was after losing to the 2-10 Cardinals or to the 2-10 Patriots or 2-11 Patriots. It's been tough, but I've kind of ended up just absorbing more of my time as watching the Browns because as I was raised,
Hop on that
be a
bandwagon.
Steelers fan, but I could be and support the Browns from afar as long as they're not playing the Steelers. And that's already done. That's over with. And I'm enjoying the ride of what the Browns fans are feeling. And Joe Flacco, I mean, what the hell? Like in the best way possible. I mean, he came off of his couch. It is showing, there's rust here and there, but Deshaun Watson was showing more rust from his suspension than Joe Flacco has.
Hey, he was 5-1. Huh?
CJ, 4-1. That you can't give him the Colts game.
Whatever.
I know they want to
4-1.
give him the Colts game.
Yeah, but it took him this
4-1.
year. What about when he was rusty off of his suspension last
He
year?
he didn't look. Hey, you got to admit, the game before he got hurt.
The Ravens game was great.
There was hope. Yeah, he was turning the corner.
The game before,
right? So,
the last one he started before he got hurt too.
yeah, like
Get ready.
He
This is
Arizona.
looked good.
This is gonna
Yeah, the Arizona game.
get everybody in an
Second
uproar
half.
right here.
Do it.
This was
Do
what I
it.
said. This is what I said at the radio station. I'm
I already
just
know
calling
where this is
something
going.
here.
He's gonna start with talking about. Go ahead, say it. I'm glad. I'm so glad.
I'm gonna
Let's go.
say
Oh, I thought Ed muted him or something.
No, not
no.
Just
That's
say
I just
Anthony
get
Bennett.
kicked
Get
from the
out.
stream. That's it. My
fair.
microphone still works at the end of the day. But Joe Flacco, give me him for 2 to 3 more years. Trade away Deshaun Watson.
I knew you were saying.
So much
Oh
rust.
shit! Here we go. Here we
Deshaun
go.
Watson doesn't even. His best game was the 14 for 14 in the second half. Why not trade him for something valuable? Joe Flacco is your man. The only thing you'd have to get rid of is your dead money. Joe Flacco brought you to a fourth quarter comeback. Joe Flacco has 600 plus passing yards in 3 games. Deshaun Watson in his 3 games when he came back from suspension, what was he doing?
There's no value for Watson. Even if
What's
you
the
do
value
trade
for
him.
Watson? Yeah, what are you
You
getting
can
for
win games
Watson?
with Flacco. You'll win games with Watson. What do you mean? He's like a damn fool.
Can I say something on that?
Keith, go ahead. This show's getting off the rails. Let's go. Might as well reel us back in.
Don't get me wrong. Joe Flacco brought the Browns back, but if the Browns were playing a viable offense,
Yeah.
like the Rams,
Like anybody.
like Baltimore, they would have got blew out.
Even my dog thinks that's stupid.
What if you? Okay. Here's a good one for you, Peyton. What if you were to remove Jim
Or even
Schwartz
if they was, or
from
even if they
the
was playing
picture,
Pittsburgh,
and you had the defense we had last year, let's just say, right? I think Jim Schwartz is playing a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
this year, right?
They've been having it locally on the pregame show about who the biggest factor is. And one of the questions this past week was Joe Flacco, Jim Schwartz, and Dustin Hopkins. Schwartz
Correct.
is probably the winner all year.
There you go.
No,
Perfect.
I
That
think
was,
it's been Dustin Hopkins.
that was perfect. I'm
I
looking
mean,
for
it
you.
helps,
Hopkins.
yes.
You take away Hopkins, you got K York back in there. You take away Jim Schwartz, and you put in Joe Woods in there.
Don't you say those words.
And you put in Joe Flacco with the same team we currently have right now, except for the defensive coordinator, and you swap the kickers. I don't know if we'd be as good as we are. With those
I
two
agree with
differences
that.
right
I think
there.
when you look back at last year, like I don't think there's much of a difference from what we're getting out of Flacco than we did Brissett.
But
the
I do like
defense is
that
playing
Flacco
at a
can
high
throw the ball.
level.
I see some
throw the
air
ball,
things.
yes.
Rip.
That's
But he still
here's
threw,
the
he
thing.
still threw 3 picks and almost had 2 fumbles.
But he could win. He could bring us back in the game because he can make up for it.
Well, the defense
throwing
kept him
it.
around.
You see
Yeah,
how much patience he has.
3
though,
and out
for
after
the
3
ball?
and out.
Yeah, I
waited-
agree. But
they
the
focus
positive
it-
is we don't have to run the ball 20 times. Like that.
We
That is the
can't
benefit
run the
of
ball.
Flacco.
That's why.
Is when we're behind, we can get back in the game because he could throw for it. That is the one positive that I didn't see all year.
I'm gonna
Except
tell y'all like this, and Ed brought me to the come to Jesus moment yesterday.
Mr. Stefanski?
Sports 216. What's?
Oh, I was gonna say.
No, Ed brought me to the come to
crazy
Jesus
here.
moment. He said,
extend him.
We're going to be Air Flacco from now on the rest of the season.
I said this on the Lockdown Sports 216 post game yesterday.
did.
I'll say this. The injuries are turning into a blessing. Here's why. Because Kevin can't help himself. Kevin loves to throw the damn ball. Always has, even when he had Nick Chubb healthy. Can't help himself. Now he's got an offensive line dinged up, banged up, patchwork. So basically, they can't run the ball. Then you got Jerome Ford who can't run anyway. So here's the deal. You can't run the football. So here's what you do. You throw it for like they did yesterday. Flacco's going to have to throw for 350, 400 yards for the Browns to win. And guess what? The only one that's not happy is the other team because we're getting the results that we want to. And Kevin
and some of the fans. Some of the fans still are not.
Some of the fans, yeah, they just want to be mad at Kevin. They'll be mad at Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I think, like, you look at this
Have
team.
you met a Browns fan before?
There's nobody, like, Browns fans are calling for him to be fired after the San Francisco game. Like, there's just nobody that I think you can put in this spot. I know. There's nobody you can put in this spot to coach this team, and they're 9-5. Like, nobody. This is one of the best coaching jobs
with the amount of
ever
turnovers we have. We're 9-5. We lead
think
the league in
about
turnovers.
And think about this with the turnovers, the injuries
in the end zone.
Yeah.
That turnovers in the red zone on both sides, on our own red zone and their red zone.
I'm screaming.
And you done went through 4
why is Pierre
quarterbacks.
Strong not in the game? You got me out here like, why is Pierre Strong not in the game? Like shit like that. Like this shit is the most ridiculous thing in the world, and they just keep winning. He keeps finding ways, dialing up plays. You know, we got a little help from Eberflus dropping the DT to cover Njoku on 3rd and 15 for some reason.
But it's interesting though. You see the difference in the offense with Flacco though, because you have Njoku who we've been talking for how many years that he's supposed to be what he's been the last 2 weeks, right?
He's
putting up good numbers
every year. I draft him in fantasy. I drop him. He starts scoring touchdowns.
Correct. So
just what we need.
Have him right there with Flacco throwing to, and then was it Tillman? Tillman's finally getting the ball thrown to him, and he's doing good. Like, you know, it's not like it's before where you're throwing fucking Harrison Bryant way too many times over and Jordan Akins over Njoku. There's no reason they should be getting the ball more than him.
Look at David Bell getting involved last week. David Bell even getting involved. So
yeah, and good
thing is
we're scraping the barrel with some of these guys.
No, you're not scraping the barrel.
We are so beat up, like it's all hands on deck.
And this goes hand in hand
and I'm
with
just
earlier
about
Deshaun Watson.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna say this though, even though we're winning, they're going to have to play a clean game, or it's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah.
You can only win ugly so many times.
We're playing like Houston and the Jets the next
Houston, the Jets,
and the Bengals.
Because I tell you this,
that's a win for sure.
Right, but if Stroud plays and Flacco throws 3 interceptions,
we're in trouble.
Not
that defense
coming
is
back
good
from
too.
Houston.
I think it's one of the things. You look at Flacco's picks. I don't want to I'm not trying to be like, oh, Joe Flacco, but the one hit Tillman in the hands. The one looked like the first one looked like they were just off, and the one that they picked off in the red zone, that was just a sick play by that dude from Chicago.
Oh yeah, I
bail off and dive over. So I think I was telling my brother, I was like, you had 9 wins right now. I was like, realistically, you just got to win one of these, get in playoffs. And you're buying Flacco.
Give me 2.
I know, but I'm saying
I'll take the 2.
If you can give me 2, right, you're buying Flacco another month against the Jets, the Bengals, who we own, and the Texans to figure it out, right? To get more reps in the offense, to get better, and the timing will get better as he goes.
But do you see the difference with home field advantage, man? Like defensive wise, you look at the splits for defense. If we could, the Ravens should have. If they had lost last time, fantastic.
Yeah, we're not getting home field though.
If they could slide down, they get a few losses.
That Rams game, difference maker.
I'm telling you, that home field advantage for us I think that's a big difference. That
Even just to
defense
play
is
one
huge.
extra game. Now, I think the thing with home field that scares me, though, is like, you know, the weather's been nice, right? Christmas is supposed to be like 50, but if it's like an ugly, like weather game, you can't run the ball.
No, I know. And
We
you see,
can't run the ball.
we struggled with the bad weather because that was one of
Yeah.
the turnovers that happened to start the game was we couldn't throw because of the rain. And we did see the negative there with us. But like they said in TV, Flacco's had enough game-winning drives in that stadium.
Flacco has 7 wins. I think he has the most road wins in the playoffs of all the quarterbacks left that are playing in the NFL right now. So Flacco can get the job done on the road.
Fuck Mahomes.
Yeah.
Also, Ed, if you could pull up that comment one more time,
Yeah.
I'd like the We Like Sportz family to introduce
my
friend Brandon from work that I talk
Oh.
about all the time, getting his usual shot in about the Steelers. If I don't hear from it here, I hear from it at work. But I just wanted to do a quick introduction of that. Maybe we'll hop on the show in the future. Who knows? Anything could happen. But anyways, I wanted to end up hitting on Deshaun Watson and the Joe Flacco thing with these guys, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku, David Bell, all these guys getting targets now too. I think it's a little bit at the fault. I know, obviously, a little bit above and beyond.
Tillman and Bell after you moved from DPJ.
Well, yeah, after that trade, but also
Bell, he
went
didn't
through training
even,
camp. He made his relationships with his wide receivers. You ended up having Amari Cooper and him behind, Elijah Moore, big year, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Joe Flacco came in. He's looking at practices, finding the open guy, and throwing it to him. It doesn't matter your ego. It doesn't matter your relationship. You're open. You're getting the ball. That's why Joe Flacco is such a blessing in disguise for Browns fans, because he doesn't care about your statistics. He doesn't care how many touchdowns David Njoku gets at the end of the day. But if David Njoku's open, guess what? He's throwing him the damn ball.
You think that Deshaun Watson's not throwing the ball to open receivers? Because
I think he's definitely.
I don't even.
You're padding your buddy's stats on the team when you're Deshaun Watson, though.
I don't know. I'm not on Peyton's side on this. Like, I'm not on the side of Flacco over Watson, but
yeah, no, he's 38 years old, right? It's fun, right? That's what I looked at it like. We got nothing to lose, right? We got Joe fucking Flacco,
and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch them. Like with that throwing for good yardage. It's
CTR and Walker.
I think, look, I'll be real. I think it's hard for Browns fans or people that hate the Browns to have a legitimate conversation about this in a way. Because let's be real. If you're to come down from any other planet, we'll come down from Mars. Martians are coming, right? And you're watching Joe Flacco versus Deshaun Watson. What you would have to say, Joe Flacco gets everybody involved. The ball moves more. It's just like having Darius Garland and Spider Mitchell. One could say Spider Mitchell's a better player. I can argue that Deshaun Watson is a better football player. But let's be real. How do you get the offense involved? Flacco's distributing the ball like Garland did before we had Mitchell. It's the same concepts there. It's hard to argue that. And I think people take it so personal because they're so invested. Like if you say one thing about Flacco, you're automatically hating on Watson. And that's not the case. It's about the Browns winning football games and moving forward. But unfortunately in social media and Twitter and X and all that fun stuff, it's like the Watson Warriors come out. The Baker Bros are still around. And no offense, Casey.
Do you want to hit on the Baker Mayfield thing at all too? Because I'm sure
we're going to go there. Oh, yeah, we're going there. We're going there.
I got a jersey, Peyton. I could throw it over you if you need it.
Yeah.
See those hands?
Oh, speaking of your buddy,
yeah, right. Peyton's friends right on with it. I mean,
yeah, correct. Because there's no. What's the pressure Flacco has right now?
Yeah,
none.
Even if he throws 3 picks, what the hell's the thing? He's not. You know,
keeps throwing though. I'll give him credit though. He keeps
still
throwing.
Got money though for winning that game in a fourth quarter comeback to pad those stats, and that's what he's playing for. And I mean,
well, would you have had more confidence in Watson? If you were down 7,
I would have had confidence against anybody against the Bears last night.
I'm just saying, when it was 7, we started like that. We had that. Who would you have thought better confidence, Watson or Flacco?
Good about
Watson
Flacco.
against Baltimore.
I just feel good about the offense. Like I feel really good about the offense right now. I feel like they're scheming guys open. I mean, that one throw Flacco made to Cooper though was insane. Like that.
The way he threw it too was just
like
threaded it.
He's been
a touch that was on it was perfect.
And this is the thing too, Keith. Let me just finish this point really quick.
Okay,
the thing with Joe Flacco too, it's taken the Browns. I mean, when was the last time you actually had a quarterback that could throw a ball like Joe Flacco? My one buddy, another buddy, ended up saying that Joe Flacco came again off of his couch, shows up, digests the playbook.
Nobody throws a ball like Flacco. I mean, that's
But
spiral.
the thing is, though, is that
He
the
throws some
Browns
bombs, too.
haven't had an elite quarterback, and I'm calling Joe Flacco elite here. But he's able to throw a ball, though, and he's able to end up getting so much zip. You never had a deep threat.
Elite
Baker
Garcia.
had zip on his ball. Baker.
That's
Baker.
right. That's right, Keith. You hear that,
Baker
Keith?
threw a
You hear
great
that?
deep ball.
Hey, I know. Check.
I'll give him his credit, right? I was telling Ed before we started. I was like, it's funny that he did it in Green Bay yesterday. And I was like, the Green Bay game a couple years ago on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whatever it was. I was like, that was me. That was when I was done with him. I was like, I just can't do it anymore. But Baker threw a good deep ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Baker threw a great.
We haven't seen like that.
I was
that
there
good
when
one throw.
I was there when Baker threw one of his deep balls, and he threw a laser to Jarvis Landry.
I'll tell you
Doing
what,
his
man, the
rookie
line
season.
doesn't start
On the
figuring
left side
out.
of
We're
the
going to
end
go
zone.
beyond
He
having
threw it.
Flacco out there.
I just look at it like this. Look, when the Browns played yesterday against Chicago, I had faith that they was going to come back. I was talking to somebody's like, oh, the game is over, doom and gloom. I was like, we got plenty of game left to go, and it was 17-7. And I said the same thing when the Browns played Baltimore. And Deshaun did what he did. He did it on a fucked up shoulder and a fucked up foot. He did the same. And Baltimore is even more hostile because he did it on the road.
4 times that game, too. He
Yes.
took a beating.
Yes. So I had confidence in either one. I never thought the game was over. And far as the quarterbacks go, it's cool what Flacco was doing. It's a godsend, to be honest. It's a godsend. But if you go into it realistically, like next year or something like that, Watson going to be the starter.
Yeah,
He got age. He got age on this side for one. Now, two, I will say this: Flacco could be my second quarterback.
Nah, he can't come back, I think.
What if he brings us?
I think if you
playoff
bring
wins?
Flacco back, I just think that this is going to be it for Flacco. I think everybody loves the backup quarterback. It's going to be Kelly Holcomb and Tim Couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, even if you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks.
I mean,
but
I don't know how the money works, right? I think there is a team. I'm going to keep the secret. I put it in my notes back in I think after the Colts game. I got a team that I think could be in on Flacco, and I'm just going to keep to myself. Or not Flacco, Watson. Where I think he could be a fit.
No, you're throwing up teases, right? Either get the dog back in the screen or tell us what's going on here.
For some reason, because they're losing a big money quarterback. They're not going to bring him back. Minnesota just makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't know how the money works moving a contract like that, but Minnesota to me makes just all the sense in the world.
What happened to Dobbs, man? He's quarterback now on the
It is rocket scientist.
The Vikings, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Minnesota, I think, makes so much sense. If you were to be I don't know how it works moving all that money, but
You think there's regret?
Would you guys get rid of Watson if you could? If some team was willing to trade the Browns 3 number 1 picks or 2 number 1 picks and take all that money and start over, would you do it?
Absolutely. I would.
Also,
Who would be
you
your-
want to know about the money
Who would
side?
be your quarterback next year, though?
You get number 1 pick. I'll figure it out.
I got a guy in the
So that
draft.
means you
love.
telling
He's not going
Miles,
number
hold
one.
on. So that means you telling Miles Garrett, oh, fuck you. We got to go with a rookie. You telling
I love
Denzel.
Gumby.
I think if you got to look at it from the perspective of if you could do it over again, would you do it over? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Correct. No.
But
You
would
wouldn't
the
trade
team be where they're at?
I do Detroit.
They went all in, so
You're not getting no franchise quarterback.
I just don't think Watson is.
Still, they got no goddamn franchise quarterback.
If you could redo the Watson trade, if you go back to what was that, March of 2021?
22.
22.
Something like that. Well, March of whatever, right? Would you redo the trade? Would you pass on it? If you had a time machine, could go back and be like, Jimmy, don't do this.
I mean, hindsight's 2020, and
that's what I'm saying. Looking back,
he got suspended for more games
with
than
him.
we thought he was going to be suspended for. He's got so much more rust than we thought he was going to have. He's got injuries.
Well, yeah, I'm not the person that's saying we shouldn't have made that. I'm not complaining right
now.
No,
I'm not either.
That was a bad trade. It is what it is.
If you could get a do-over, you wouldn't do it over again?
I would. If I went back, I wouldn't do it again. But I'm not
But I'm fine.
criticizing them.
Well, I'm with Casey in Orlando on that one. I'm with Casey on that.
Because like my view of it is like if we can get a guy like Joe Flacco playing it, like you could plug in a guy that knows what he's doing into the system. We could do what we can do. Brock Purdy, there's various fucking Dak Prescott. Like if you have the team around you and you could throw the ball, you're in the game, right?
Yes.
If you like the Flacco sucked in the Jets last year. He beat us, but he was no good in the Jets. But look at the team they had. Like they
back to the
but you know what I mean. You put him on this team.
The only one where I'm like, I felt like he played like shit, and I'm just going off vibes, is the Pittsburgh game after Chubb blew his knee out.
Yeah.
And that game just was like, what the hell do we do now? Like,
No, yeah,
but
exactly.
I feel like going just off vibes. I know his numbers weren't great against Cincinnati, but I thought he played okay. He had a really good second half against Arizona.
Baltimore.
I feel like but Arizona too. He had a good second half. At Tune out there, he had a great second half against Baltimore. Like going off just like vibes in my head, like it hasn't been that bad with him.
Well, there's a bigger problem. Casey thinks there's a bigger problem in the NFL, and I don't think there's that many good quarterbacks, truthfully, in the NFL.
There's not.
Well, the draft has been so bad the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking
even if you look around the NFL, like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Because if you
remember, I don't know if any of you, Keith and Ed, were on the episode. I do remember when Casey said, Dak Prescott, will Josh Allen be the same exact thing if they don't make the playoffs this year? And he goes into next year, and they didn't have a good season this year. And
I remember we were making fun of the Bills that episode. I was there.
Yep. And then there were some people. Someone tweeted at me saying you're insane. But
Casey's speaking in third person. Gotta love the show, guys.
I'm just saying that I did say this
too, by the sounds of it.
And they might not make the playoffs. They looked good yesterday. They did look good yesterday.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of him. It was because of Cook.
Yeah.
The running game.
Exactly.
You know, got the game.
Running game, yeah.
Like, even Herbert. I get he's hurt now, but what did he do? They're fucking horrendous.
Herbert is the greatest quarterback in made-up scenarios. Like, you put like a made-up scenario, people love Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Justin Herbert,
Mac Jones, he was big. Now he's nothing, right? So you look over the last couple of years, like you said, that the quarterbacks that were drafted, holy shit, we're set up. We have the next Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, right? I mean, I don't know. Mahomes,
I think the only guy that feels like, and it's still early on him, but it feels like Stroud's been a slam dunk.
Even Hurts,
I'm getting in my time machine. Getting CJ Stroud somehow.
CJ Stroud feels like he's been like when you look at what's around him in Houston, like they're so terrible.
Go
ahead, Keith. Yeah,
because if you look at the quarterback play and all, Jalen Hurts' stats were just like Watson's.
That's what I'm saying. There isn't.
His stats was just like Watson's.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson doesn't really knock you out with his stats.
No.
But Baltimore's 11-3. Now Herbert was going for 300-400 yards a game, and look what you got: 5-9. Coach fired. Herbert's injured.
Herbert seems like though. He seems like a Madden quarterback that you create and you end up padding all his stats. But when it comes to the end of the game, if there's a button on your controller that you click choke, that's the whole entire Chargers organization.
And think about this also. The Browns' record with Deshaun as quarterback in 12 games is 8-4. And he doesn't have. And he doesn't.
Trade made us go all in. So I think the package deal with getting Watson was we made other moves that benefit us now because we went all in with that trade. Yeah. It made us do other things to get other players.
And you also got to look. Watson doesn't have to be the guy he was in Houston when he had to do everything. No. He has Chubb. The offensive line was supposed to be great.
It isn't.
So it isn't. They're 80% out now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, correct.
And they're still getting it done.
In the NFL, we've got so many injuries. I'm sure you guys talked about it for quarterbacks. So we're lucky that we did have the chance to get Flacco with other teams having all those injuries too. No other team signing him.
And on top of that, Kevin about to get a whole bunch of coaches in the NFL fired because they're looking. They're looking like, well, I lost my quarterback. Well, Cleveland lost. Cleveland lost 3.
Yeah,
he should be the coach of the year.
Yes.
Finish the job. Let's not anoint anybody.
In general, like nobody has done a better job. Even if they just win 9. Tell me 9 wins. I mean, it would be a letdown, but like 9, dude. PJ Walker, BTR,
And
like
you
old
think
ass
about you
Flacco.
on your
Chubb
third
Blues out in the
offensive
second or
tackle.
third week.
Yeah, that one dude. I think his number is like 66 or some shit. He's playing left
Hudson.
out. That guy.
Hudson.
Not Hudson. Hudson doesn't stand a chance.
Christian, was it
Talking about
Christensen or whatever. Yeah,
Christian
dude,
64.
I
and
feel
Hudson
bad for
66.
that guy at times because it's just like he's like out there. It's like this ain't what I signed up to be a backup. You know, I didn't sign up to be out here.
This is his chance. What do you mean?
Yeah. He's out here getting destroyed. You know, I feel bad for Nick Harris. I look and see why they put him at fullback. Like Nick Harris just getting wrecked all game. I'm just like, oh my god, like what are we doing? Yelling for the backup center to be replaced right now. Like, ugh.
And then think about it. You done lost half your defensive backfield. Your safety
Yeah.
is gone.
Denzel Ward's hurt every other hour.
And did you see we got Hickman had a great Pro Football Focus score, but he was one of the top rated safeties this last week.
And you're doing it with two safeties.
Why'd we pay Delpit all that money then? We had Hickman. Well, that's the thing. We pay these guys and then
Anthony Walker's out. You got to slide Taki over. I like him, but he can't cover up.
He got burned.
Aki overthrew that pass. Yep, I said the same shit.
That great block by Cole Kmet when he tackled Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
What about Myles Garrett getting held all the time still?
Yeah. That's what happens when you call the refs out, though.
Yep.
You know, a good call.
Yeah, well,
you're correct.
They calls beforehand. He's just $25,000 lighter in the wallet, and he's still not getting the calls. So I don't know, Miles.
But if you're Pat Mahomes, it's a different meme and a different story. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you know how when they decided to review the pass interferences one year, and no matter what, the refs still shot it down during the games.
Yeah, they still didn't change the call.
They still didn't change the call. That's how they're looking at Myles Garrett right now.
But it's the problem with if you slow down every goddamn play, you're going to see holding on every play. Like that run that we had where Elijah Moore was blocking on that one screen, and they replayed it. He was holding them.
Oh yeah, the one we grabbed.
Behind those backs, they couldn't see the hands. But that was a hold right there. So that there are calls that are blatantly missed on Myles Garrett. But every play, they say every play there's holding.
Oh, yeah, especially when you're Myles freaking Garrett and you're just exploding in there like that.
You should get any more calls though.
Browns are fun.
So to get off the Browns, since we've talked 37 minutes.
Well, no, this is great. This is great. This is good. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah. To wrap it up and there, go to the rest of the NFL if we want to.
Yeah,
the quarterbacks I brought up earlier. I have the top let's just say 5 quarterbacks passing yards this year. Can you think
I know. I looked recently. It's Tua. It's Sam Howell. I think is in there.
Sam Howell's 7.
Oh, Sam dropped.
Is he 7? Damn.
Yeah, he did drop down. But yeah, so Tua is number 1. So is he a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
Tua?
The team around him is.
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. The team around him.
Tua's not top 5.
Second, I'll just spoil it.
Second was Purdy, Mahomes, I think, right?
Brock Purdy. Correct.
Game manager.
Yeah.
There's 2. Hey, he's a good quarterback.
Goff's got to be in there. I feel like the Lions are
Stroud.
Jared Goff is number 3.
Okay.
He just had to move up this past week.
Right. So the Lions, right? Hey, it's a good team, I guess. Jared Goff isn't top 5. 4 is Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably number 1 unanimously.
I had to think of who chucks it around a lot.
Dak Prescott's number 5.
Okay.
Right. So all of those teams have winning records and are successful this year. But if you put those 5 quarterbacks on the bottom 5 teams in the NFL, I don't know.
Mahomes maybe.
Yeah,
but look at Tua in games that the Dolphins lose. I mean, that's a prime example of him having the most passing.
I think this is a weird year though. Like to me in my head, it feels like nobody's really moved up or down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like to do the in my head quarterback rankings, it would still be like, all right, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen.
That's what I mean. That's what I point there. Is there's not much like quarterback play is really out of the world.
Where's Baker at?
Baker's at 12.
Oh.
So now if we I'll look at touchdowns real quick since we got this
up. Bad. He about where he was before. About 12.
Yeah, correct. The top 5 touchdowns are Purdy, Prescott, Goff, Allen, Tua. Baker ends up number 8 there.
Wow.
And then picks, the lowest picks the lowest picks for a quarterback, obviously, this year would be who actually starts. I can't even tell you this out because these are Jake Browning only has 3, but he hasn't played that much.
Because don't cut him.
Browns are, but the highest interceptions are Howell, Allen, Mahomes, Mac Jones, Jordan Love, Tua.
Stroud probably got the
rough.
least of guys that start. He's got 5 picks.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Kirk Cousins had 5, and each
Purdy doesn't throw that many, obviously.
Purdy's got 7.
yeah, correct. Purdy and Prescott only have 7 this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
And Purdy had the majority of those when everybody
A
was
couple other
injured.
guys got
Yeah.
7. Lamar's got 7. Herbert's got 7.
Correct.
there's
So
kids like Aiden
that's the
O'Connell
thing,
who
though.
already
It's a
had
lot of, I
7.
think, similar quarterback play. There's no one
I
that is,
mean-
like I said, leaps and bounds ahead. If
Well,
you
I feel
started
like that's kind of like the thing, right? And when you look around, I think I said it last week. I was like, you see a lot of these weird stat lines and people complete like 29 passes, throw for like 20 yards. Like Flacco's out here chucking it deep at times.
350,
like,
yeah.
Fuck it, go deep.
70.
Somebody's down there.
Something in the
Yeah.
first half, and then ended up finishing up with
Yeah.
400
He had like
almost.
he had like 200 in the fourth. So I feel like it's different, right? Not a lot of teams. I feel like your quarterback. I feel like so many teams are up in the air. Like I didn't feel like Fields played that great yesterday. I think he played terrible. You know, they're ready to
It's
like.
tough with that pressure. The defense is
Yeah,
getting
that's
to
what
them a
I'm
lot.
saying. There's nobody around him, dude. Those guys, their line stinks too.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what isn't? You know what isn't tough? And when it's time to pay the bills. And you know what also isn't tough to do? It's not tough when you have Dubby. And obviously you want an energy drink that you can mix at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash, then you got to try Dubby. Their products have no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin. I don't know what the heck that is. They don't have it. That's a good thing.
But it's delicious, Dubby. You
It
know,
is.
you drink
No fillers
Monsters.
and no
are.
artificial colors.
I've been
Dubby has-
drinking Dubby. I swear to God, Monsters, they're piss magnets. I drink Dubby. I don't have to piss at all. Like it's amazing.
So waiting for my
Hey,
promo pack
CJ,
set,
you must love the flavors: Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dub Sludge because that's obviously
Dub
getting it done for
Sludge
you.
is.
I would love to
can't
try
believe
Dub
the peach
Sludge,
one.
man.
Gotta
Dub
have
Sludge.
it.
It's
Well, hey, you know what? You
right down
guys
your
have probably
throat.
already done it, but the audience, go out there, go to w.gg and use the coupon code We Like Sports and get 10% off your order. So you'll want to do that. And also, guys, because I know we're into betting and everything, the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe the Black Bookie. You want to check him out because he gets you set for your Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week. So you'll want to do that, and also head on over to Tight Nutrition. Casey, show the gun.
Casey's
I lost sleep on today.
The gun show
I
right
still
there.
see them.
They got nice products over at Tight Nutrition.
Got a Dubby brewing in my
We
pants.
Like Sports. And also, this is the most important thing. We gotta pat ourselves on the back of We Like Sports because check out the website at WeLikeSportsPC.com. We have great writers. Peyton, you know him better than I do, but Sean, give us a list. Give us a list of writers here.
We got
Sean's
Keith.
writing about it.
We got Sean. We got there's so many people.
Ed.
That ended up
I
there's
wrote a
Ed
few
in Columbus. There's CJ in his
Editorial.
7th-round mock drafts that he did last year. That's coming again this year. I've heard
I wrote that Alex Manoah article, and I was damn right on that.
He's like a
He's
Mel
the John
Kiper
Gruden of the
of
show.
sorts.
But yeah, so you want to check
Yeah,
out
I'm
us.
sure.
We love us. We like sports, but we love us. We like sportspc.com. And also on X, check us out. Over 3K now. We're moving on up. So yeah, check us out on X. And,
To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Is that where we're
that's
going?
right. Absolutely. So, so
And
there we are. Paid some bills right there. So do you
Ed,
guys
one
wanna-
more thing.
Yes.
Our betting challenge too. We went through all of them, but we also forgot a couple. We ended up forgetting about Caesar Sportsbook, Bet365. So we're gonna end up taking this week, and then when we come back after Christmas, because I'm assuming we're gonna end up spending time on Christmas, and we'll come back Tuesday if I'm reading Ed's mind correctly.
Yeah. I
But-
think you're reading it right.
It's that chemistry, brother. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, though, Bet365, Caesar Sportsbook, we ended up having DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365. We have MyBookie. We ended up testing out all those. Next week, we'll end up picking out who would be our official betting partner on the We Like Sportz show.
What about Hard Rock? Hard Rock's down here. You gotta keep them on
Oh,
Hard
another
Rock.
one then.
Throw them in.
That's right. You two are just like the Billy and Chuck of this show. Like you're identical.
That because I'm an ass man.
Ed, you look that up after the show. If you don't know who Billy and Chuck, Billy Gunn's one of them. You'll know
The badass
Chuck
Billy
Palumbo.
Guns.
Billy Gunn.
Chuck Palumbo. Oh my God.
Enrico. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what I want to do because it's next week. I heard rumor has it that there's a holiday out there called Christmas. I know. So, but I wanted to have a little fun here today and do our sports Christmas wish list. So here's what I want to do. I want to go around the horn here, and and this can be something that you wish for sports. Maybe it'd be in general, you want a rule change. Maybe there's something specific to a team that you like that you think maybe this would help infuse some more winning or some more positivity to that team. So, oh my goodness.
That's guys' backstory really quick. If you're looking up on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, that suit jacket right there. Casey usually does this when he's up in town at bowling. He'd always end up coming in with these Christmas suit jackets, pants. So he's celebrating from down in Florida, apparently. Our banquet is this Thursday, so it does make sense that he is right on par.
I should have put the Baker jersey underneath.
He looks like wrapping paper.
Well, he's just gracing us with his presence,
Oh,
I'm your gift.
He's my present. Is that better than the Miles Straw jersey, or is it, I don't know. That looks good. That looks hot. But we'll start with Mr. Wrapping Paper, Mr. Christmas himself, KC in Orlando. Christmas wish list. Was there something that this season that you, like I said, for sports in general or a specific team that you have on your wish list that you think could make your team or your sport better?
Yes, I would say mine is the Cavs.
Okay.
I would love if the Cavs can be the Cavs that I want the Cavs to be.
Who are those?
I watch a lot of games, right? I see a lot of different players on that court because of injuries and everything. But I would love if they could just be what we all expected them to be this year. I get the injuries. I understand that. But it just doesn't feel the same. The team doesn't feel like it has any chemistry like it did last year with Jetty and Lamar Stevens. I love Lamar Stevens. There you go. I love Lamar Stevens. But there just is no dog out there. That junkyard dog chain and everything. Who is it now? They don't have that identity. I feel like they're just a normal team that shoots a shit ton of threes. Right? I like that we shoot more threes, but when we can't hit them, we got to go back to what we used to do. So for my wish list is we don't forget what we were last year, what we were successful with last year. I'm not saying going all the way back. I don't want us to do the whole do not shoot any threes move. But I think if you can't hit those threes, we got to start going in the paint to Allen and Mobley. Can't keep jacking up threes. That's my Christmas wish, is that the Cavs turn into, with the bad news we had with Mobley out for another month, and then same with Garland. That sucks. But they did look good with them out because they did play good team basketball, I felt like, with them out. So my wish list is hopefully I get.
That was a long-winded version. Hey, CJ, what I heard was fire JB Bickerstaff. That's what I heard.
No, I didn't say that.
Sounds good to me.
That's what I heard.
Good to me.
I wish they could find their identity. Is my wish for Christmas, is that the Cleveland Cavaliers can find their identity and own it and be the team they can be.
No pink slips for Christmas. Heath, what are we doing here for your Christmas wish list?
For my Christmas wish list, I wish that it's a couple of things. I wish that the Guardians would get some outfielders.
Fucking Austin Hedges, dude. We got Austin Hedges back. We're good. We are good.
I'm happy with the Austin Hedges thing, to be honest, to tell you the truth, because I'm glad that you mentioned that, Casey, because Bo Naylor will be able to know how to handle pitchers a lot better than he did this year. You notice Hedges was gone and the Guardians finished in the tank for real.
Nino stinks. Boom.
But we gotta get some legitimate outfielders, and we gotta put Quan in center. Casey,
I can't change again, dude. I can't put the Straw jersey on.
Casey, hear me out. Miles Straw, hell of an outfielder, but he's not giving me jack shit at the plate batting.
They've been working out, man. Him and Quan.
Working out.
Hitting
2 home runs next year. You heard
but,
it
hit the ball.
But like Vince has hit me on to some players in the Guardians minor league system that they might as well give a shot because they're not gonna go acquire nobody. Was the young kid that was in Akron, the right fielder?
Chase DeLauder.
Water or
Rodriguez was
the
a
water
good.
or Valero?
Rodriguez.
It was Rodriguez
Yeah.
or somebody, the
Rodriguez.
right fielder.
Yeah,
They gotta give him a shot. They gotta give that other big dude that's in Columbus a shot.
John Kennedy
dude.
Noel.
Yeah, Noel. That's it.
Manzardo.
They gotta give him a shot. I mean, hell, you can't go no worse than what the outfield production was last year.
That's true.
Can't get no worse. You might as well give him a shot. And I would also wish for Christmas that Cleveland State and the Cavs would quit scheduling their games at the same damn day
Fair enough.
at home. Because irritating. You wonder why Cleveland State don't get no fans. If you pick Cavs, Cleveland State, of course you're gonna see the Cavs.
You're gonna see the Vikings.
I'm seeing the Vikings.
Vikings got a pretty decent team too. That Tristan Ariuna, he's a beast. He's nasty. But that's my wishes so far. And also, I also wish that the Browns can somehow get back to health for them to be, if they get.
Well, that's a Christmas miracle right there.
Yeah. They can get if they can get Delpit back and get, well, shit, we ain't getting none of the linemen back. So
No.
we get Posick back, I'll be good.
When Ethan Posick is your Christmas wish, that's
Yeah.
Down bad.
He got a finger, so it's gonna be rough.
Battery's not included on that one.
Just
And
get
I
him
want
full.
Orpheus Roy back too. How about that? Can we get Orpheus Roy back?
Oh, number 99 from absolutely.
What
And
about
also-
Braylon Edwards? We need some wide receivers.
Hey, I'll take him too right now.
Not
But
they saw
also-
worth it.
Oh no, Casey.
Stay out of the streets if he's there.
He's a
Some legal
speed
help.
threat.
Dwayne
He's a
Bowe.
menace out there.
Yeah, and plus with
No,
the
stop
Cavs
that.
and with the Cavs, I want them to get back to health too, and I want them to figure out what they're actually going to do, because this roster is kind of flawed. in a
But it's
sense.
weird because we have a similar team, man.
Yeah,
Like,
roster.
and I think Struess is an upgrade. Like, I think us getting him was
Yeah,
good.
who?
Upgrade. He's a up. Struess is cool, but I would like Struess coming off the bench. For real,
This is
for real.
Jetty Osmond, but 3 inches shorter.
Great, CJ. It's your turn now. Merry Christmas. What is your wish list?
Being 3 inches shorter.
He'll be
yeah,
good
my-
at the other one at the next segment. I think he'll be set up for. But
yeah,
My
right.
wish is for college football to get back to the sport I love.
What is
I
that
love
sport mean?
NFL. I love football Sunday, but this damn division realignment and the Pac-12 dying. I was so sad watching that last Pac-12.
Thanks for Heisman.
Pac-12 after dark was just, it's been an amazing era. I need college football to get back to a sport I love. Get rid of all this. I don't need USC and UCLA and Oregon and this one in the Big Ten. That's not Big Ten football. Big Ten football is punts and Michigan and Ohio State at the end of the year. Like, that's it. I need to watch bad Iowa. I don't need USC coming to Iowa in the middle of November. I mean, I'm going to tune in because it's going to be great. But I wanted to get back to the conferences I love and I know, and the rivalries I know and I love. I'd like to see the playoff cut down from 12 to like 8 or 10. Give me transparency with this committee because I still cannot wrap my head around it. It
Oh, is
still
that a
makes no
Christmas
sense.
pun?
No.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And I
agree
need
with
this
you,
portal.
Jay.
Casey can help wrap that one.
I need these portal rules to change. Just everybody hopping in and getting a freebie. You make a decision, you sat for a year, now you want out. Make them sit for a year. Give me back the old transfer rules. They go, they sit. And I don't need any more dudes playing quarterback at, Bowling Green or some goofy ass school that are my age. No, it's time for you to go out there and you
Justin
get a
Bennett.
job. If
Fuck.
Dylan Gabriel, he is like 24. He's different. He don't count. You got Dylan Gabriel out here going into. He was playing at the, when freaking Scott Frost was at UCF, right? Mackenzie Milton. Like,
Right.
you are a grown man. You go out there and you get yourself a job.
Get
You don't
yourself a
go
job
to
in job.
Oregon. You go out there and you get yourself a job.
Oregon.
Your job isn't going to be NFL quarterback. You go out there. You use that sports management degree that you got, that communications degree, right? I'm so sick of seeing these guys. I'd hear Luke Fickell talk about it, freaking 7th. He goes in, he gets himself a 6-year senior. You get yourself a job, young man. Right? Lots of guys go to school for 6 years, 7 years. We call them doctors, not quarterbacks and retailers that are selling used cars in whatever college town they went to. I'm sick of it. Give me the
Is it
couch
my
to
turn
fly
for
though.
my wish? Because I can.
I love it. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
All right. So,
But I got one more thing. He's still thinking. And I need George
For my
Niang
wish
out of a
list?
Cavs jersey.
I would love to
And I
hear an
need Monty
explanation
Bates
as
in
to
there.
why.
No George Niang.
What about George Niang? I didn't hear the George Niang part. What?
Fat. I don't need his fat. He's built like me. And I'm 5'8".
correct.
It's not good. He's like 6'7". Get George Niang off my court. Sorry, Peyton.
Well, Peyton was frozen, so it worked out well.
He just reminded
All
me.
right. Did you hear me or did I get cut
you
off?
froze.
No,
You
you're
froze.
sitting in
So
the
it
back
worked
of that
out good.
McDonald's on the
You was in the
Wi-Fi.
Phantom Zone.
Technical
Yeah.
difficulties. Let's try it again.
I think your dog's eating the wires behind the TV, man.
Yeah, I know. I had to shut off my Wi-Fi. That's probably what ended up happening, and now I'm back to normal. But anyway,
All right,
for
come
my
on, your
wish
Christmas
list, what I was getting to is the fact that CJ, I would love to hear an explanation as to why you could rag on Oregon's quarterback, but you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan, and Stetson Bennett was your quarterback for 7 years.
It was one extra year. He went away to a JUCO. 4 years, 5 years eligibility.
I hear a little bit of
Last
bias
year.
in your voice,
Carson Beck would have did it last year. It's fine.
and you want to be in the committee that's unbiased too.
No, I want the committee to give me transparency, right? Own up to it, right?
I want
Drop
you to
some-
give me
you put-
transparency.
You put out. It's different with Stetson Bennett. He won national title.
Okay, but so yeah,
And-
what's
but
the,
we're so far removed from it.
Hey, let's
Right,
have
now
a drink
these
for
guys
Stetson Bennett. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Now these guys are
Oh.
gotta take care of it for Casey. Now these guys are hanging on to the COVID year. The COVID year. Cam Rising's going in his 8th year. He played quarter.
He's got his
he came
drinks.
to Texas when Obama was in office.
still got hope? He got NFL hope still. Come
Hope
on,
and
Brandon Weed
change.
beat it.
Brandon Weed, we
So-
drafted him at 28. Think about how stupid that was.
There you go. So 28, you got time.
First round.
Stetson Bennett still has a career ahead of him, more than
All right,
likely.
what is your goddamn Christmas wish list?
Well,
Mine's
that
to
sounds
get
like the
back to
rudest
college
Santa
football.
Claus I ever heard.
Oh my good.
You
He's
want-
fired. That jobby
Colorado
job we're
Buffaloes.
talking about, you're fired.
Oh my god.
The fire
But
Deion
for my
Sanders.
Christmas wish list, honestly,
Yeah, give it to
and
me.
it could kind of go either way at this point. It could go on the Cole side or else for the wish
He
list.
just wants his girlfriend under the mistletoe with him. That's all he wants. He's a simple man. That's all he needs.
I just want my wish list to be the Cavs trading away Donovan Mitchell, especially with all the injuries. You got Donovan Mitchell. You got Evan
We got a
Mobley out
mixture.
for up to 6 to 8 weeks. Darius Garland 4 to 8.
It's the NBA, man.
You're gonna
Anything
end up
can
having to do it
happen.
soon. Why not get somebody for him?
Don't try.
What do we get for him? Cole?
Whatever you could package together, it'd be
That
better. than
fucker that
Cole.
isn't even playing Bridges from the goddamn Hornets. That's what we're gonna.
Oh, Mike
No, he's
But
back.
they need. You're telling me
he's
that
back.
we talk about it all the time. The different basketball level and the efficiency when Darius Garland's in
Yeah.
and when
No,
Donovan
but-
Mitchell's in.
Mitchell looked real good, and he had his career high
He
in
looked
assists
great
the first
Saturday.
game Garland was out.
Well, yeah,
He had a
against
great
Atlanta.
You guys out here wasting Christmas wishes on Cavs basketball. That's why, like Keith, I appreciate you wishing for an outfielder because we need that. We've needed that since like Grady Sizemore, but like
Damn.
He's on the
wishing
White
the
Sox
damn
now.
Cavs. Yeah,
The White
wishing
Sox hired him
the
on the coaching staff.
damn Cavs. Like
No.
couldn't be me.
Well, it's in season. We're not talking about baseball because it's snowing outside for us, and 4 out of the
It's
5
all-
of us in
it's
this
all
room
season,
probably.
bud.
It's fucking 70 here. I mean,
Well, yeah, those are some good.
what about Ed?
Okay, well, we're gonna. Okay, we'll
Old Saint Ed. Old Saint Ed. What's he got?
we'll go here. Here's what I was thinking. Okay.
Strippers and blow is what Ed wants.
Oh, absolutely. But that's that's on the low. Strippers and blow on the low. On the low.
His other list.
But I was thinking, you're doing some renovations over at Progressive Field,
No problem with
and
blue seats.
the
They're
one
doing
thing,
that now.
the blue seats. The one thing that I really want, and this Christmas wish list is probably going to be in the not too distant foreseeable future. That's a little extended, but I want a championship. And I
Shohei
think that no
Ohtani.
matter what you do, well, yeah, I think that ship has sailed with the 68 million deferred. But so what I really want is a Guardians World Series championship this year. I'm sick of waiting. My parents are getting older. They were born in
This year.
49, so they missed it by a year. So that sucks for them. I also want the Browns to make some noise in the playoffs, not just get there, but win a game or two. That'd be nice. Get the AFC Championship and wake up on that Sunday. I remember being a 9-year-old boy, waking up and watching the Browns go to Denver and lose. But I still got to wake up with the thought and the hope that they might go to the Super Bowl, one game away. That's all I want for Cleveland this year. And also with the Cavs, like CJ said, I'm not going to waste my time with them because what I really want for Christmas, is for me not to F up this break-in. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sportz break-in news. Former Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord has found a new school who will be playing for Syracuse next season, missing open receivers while not scanning the field. Aren't you glad college football has a transfer portal, Buckeye fans? The Cleveland Guardians are installing new blue seats to replace the original green seats that were installed in 1994. Maybe the Guardians should try installing some outfielders who can actually hit the ball into those seats.
We're so far they're behind.
And finally, the Browns won a game in which a Hail Mary was almost answered, but was heartbreakingly denied. Good to know God hates the Bears more than he hates Cleveland. Well, until the playoffs start, and then God will be up to his old tricks. And this is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sportz. Pretty good news. That felt good.
Oh, really?
My Christmas wish list, I left one thing off. CJ and I want the same thing. We want a We Like Sportz t-shirt that is, we've been like 10 years.
Yeah, with our faces on it.
Of our faces on it, yeah. I need some We Like Sportz merchandise with me and CJ.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'll tell you this right now. It's not going to come in time for Christmas.
Fuck.
Maybe after the New
that
Year.
picture I sent you of
I blame Amazon for that. I blame
Kevin
Amazon.
Nash and Scott Hall. That needs to be on a damn t-shirt.
That needs to be it.
Well, maybe you could end up just getting, like, Casey, this is your new project then.
You know what?
The new
Give me a
t-shirt
shirt.
idea.
Give me
We
a
end
shirt
up
with
getting
just the
all of
ad. Like, make it a
D-Generation X
hand.
with
Yeah,
Ed,
there you go.
CJ,
Yeah.
Keith,
Make
you,
it the hand of the ad.
I know what it is.
We're doing the Ed sign.
Yeah,
we're
well,
just
we're
throwing up
just
the
throwing
ad.
up the EDs because, you
I
know,
think-
that
Just
It
give me a
doesn't
shirt
always
that's
mean
a
that.
pair of hands throwing up the ED.
Raise your hand, guys. I figured this out. What I'm looking at Casey, and usually when I look at Casey, I see Baker Mayfield. But what he's wearing right now, here's what I see right now. I think Casey reminds me of Travis Kelce in that one commercial where he's wearing the blue suit and it's for like DirecTV or something like that. I think Casey is Travis Kelce. Where's Tay-Tay at tonight? Where's Tay-Tay?
She's over here. She's back,
Oh,
she's
she
back
is.
in the kitchen right now. But
All right. Well, we were playing Christmas wish list, but there's always two sides to everything. There's
This
a
is
winner, there's a
CJ's.
loser. There's a thing. We're gonna play another game, guys,
Full
called
of shit on whatever you throw at me.
Bah Humbug. This is CJ's thing. CJ gets to go first. So give me something about sports that's a bah humbug, something you hate, something you just can't stand, something.
I think right
right.
now, in my life, like this last past calendar year, I don't think I've ever seen worse officiating. I think officiating throughout all the major, this is some of the worst shit I've ever seen. Like, I'm screaming at my TV about holds, and I'm not a guy that, the holds. Like, whether I'm watching the Browns or Georgia, Alabama, or watching the bullshit calls, or I'm watching the Cavs, I just feel like officiating has been so dog shit this year. This is some of the worst shit. And, like, they don't have to get up there. They don't have to explain it. You know, none of that. You know, it's
they
just,
get to tweet it out.
so freaking terrible. The lack of accountability among refs has been beyond awful this year.
That's a good one. Keith, what do you got for bah humbug?
The fact that the Browns turn the damn ball over every goddamn game at least 2 or 3 times. This shit is ridiculous. And like I said, it's going to be a sad day in the land because they're going to turn it over too much against the wrong team. It might not
Travis,
catch them now, but it will catch them in January.
Mr. Swift, Travis, Casey.
mine's gonna be longer than this. All right, I got a couple things. First
Yeah,
one,
Draymond
Draymond Green. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Steph
I
Curry,
think it's hilarious. I think we need
Get the
more
fuck
fights
outta
this
here.
year.
hate them both. Patrick Mahomes. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like him either. I can't stand those three.
I got another one after he's done.
Perfect. Draymond Green, I like aggressive. He's such a fucking clown. Every time he does this shit, you see his interview. Oh, like this one. I would have apologized. I wouldn't apologize if I meant to do it. Get out of here. That was on purpose. He's a clown. Get out.
I didn't know I held on to him that
Yeah.
long.
This shit, he's an idiot. Get him out. This next one,
Now,
MLB.
can I ask you a question
salary.
real quick on that, Casey?
Go ahead.
Now, if Draymond
You
Green
wanna
was
touch
with the
on Draymond Green?
Cavs, or Orlando, would you feel that way?
Yes. Truthfully, yes. I do not like him one bit. The equivalent would be like if I was in Golden State, I don't think I like the Warriors anyway. Like there might be a slight bias because we are Cavs. I'm a Cavs fan, but I can't stand him. Cannot stand him. Just the way he acts, I don't like the way he acts. Outside the court even. Like so the interview shit, like, oh yeah, I apologize to him. You know, if I wanted to do it, I would have done it. Like get out of here. Like
get the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Second one, the baseball. Right? The Shohei Ohtani deal. Right? I get if we look at Texas Rangers won the World Series. I get if you look in the history, not many teams with all that money, that's spent all that money make the World Series and win it. But I'm still sick of it. Like there needs to be some kind of structure to me in baseball. I know CJ loves baseball. He might have a different take than me on this, but there just needs to be structure when it comes to this because there's no reason why the team up here is paying $200 million more on average than the team on the bottom. I get the A's, our friend loves the A's. I get it. I understand this. But there needs to be more of a structure in it.
He unfollowed me. He's not my friend anymore.
I didn't know we were talking shit over the last 6 months on him. But now I can say it. I get they should spend more. Still, that's not how it should be. It's just the problem. Next thing is the Patrick Mahomes. Get the hell out of here as well, Patrick Mahomes. That fucker cries and cries and cries and cries and cries. Why would I feel bad for him? Why would anybody feel bad? If I was Josh Allen, he came up to me after I just beat his ass and he tells me, oh, if it's fucking call, we'd have won the game if it wasn't for that. Get the fuck
out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. There you go. So off the top of my head, those are the two and a half, three things that I think that I bought Humbug. We do this every week if I wrote down the things that bother me throughout the week. CJ's is correct as well. I do not like these calls. It's obvious every game you watch. Perfect example, I'm glad you brought this up, was the offensive offsides calls. That shit was never, ever called prior to this Kadarius Toney call. But now look at last week. We saw it firsthand. They called it now. They call it now. Call or don't call it. That shit, you should not have called that in that game. I get he was offsides. I understand. But come on. What's the difference?
Well, blow the play dead.
There you go. Call the play dead. Don't let the play go. Throw that crazy-ass pass that Travis Kelce, threw backwards to Kadarius Toney and three guys on me. Scored a crazy.
For a touchdown.
For no reason. Yeah, touchdown. No, like I said, he was being a baby. Mahomes is crying. That was a flag. I get it. Should have called it dead. But the officiating too, get the fuck out of here. Floor is yours, Peyton Vince.
This should have been a segment.
Peyton, I had one more thing.
No.
I am so sick to death of some of these broadcast teams that are national. That Mark Sanchez broadcast was some of the worst shit I've ever heard. And
I agree.
They made Charles Davis and the other guy look like Madden and Summerall. Like some of these broadcasts are just beyond terrible. Like the best I can do on my Sunday is have to listen to Kevin, whatever the hell his name is, and freaking Mark Sanchez. Who, like, there was a play like Harrison Bryant went in motion. He's like, oh, Wyatt Teller is going in motion. Like, that's the only healthy guard we got. Like, it's the only guy on the line you need to know the name. Like, some of these broadcasts are just beyond awful. And I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Sparoditis. What do you mean? You got Sparoditis and Adam Marshall.
Adam Marshall. Like, that's the F teams that are just like, those are supposed to be like your bottom of the barrel. Like, they're doing Panthers and whoever they're playing, Panthers and Falcons. And I got to listen to freaking these two clowns that don't have a clue.
There's worse than the ones we had. There's worse than Sanchez. I don't know who he was. He was one of our games on Fox prior. He was horrible.
Some of these guys, like listen to Sanchez when they had the Rams and the Broncos. They are just, oh my God, I want to watch the game on mute. Like they're just so
that
terrible.
Game. Well, like the thing is too is with that game too with Mark Sanchez. There was two or three times.
Do your own Baja move.
Wait, I will. I'm segueing into it, CJ.
Oh my God! No, we're running out of time.
We ended up having Mark Sanchez that ended up having 3 or 4 comments about the defensive lineman's dance moves, and one of them he goes, "Oh, he looks like he's in living color," and it's like, what's up with that kind of like with what is being said during the game? You're having the dance competition and making it a focus on your linemen celebrating after a sack or a tackle. You sound like it explains why Mark Sanchez is the butt fumble after all.
Yeah, some of these broadcasts are just. And I miss Aikman and Buck. I do, because every time they're on, I watch the Manning cast.
Yeah,
and
the Manning cast is pretty good.
Fox Sunday should just give me like their own like red zone man. Like I should get like they should just divvy up the cast and give me like a Gronk and Terry Bradshaw cast. I would watch that every week.
But
'Cause they're
for my
shit names to do
bah
anyways.
humbug, I guess what I'd end up saying is kind of to the point of what Casey was saying, because I ended up seeing on X earlier today, and it was enough of a topic. I think it was MLB on Fox had it, and they said it's been 42 years. Sorry, Keith, that the Yankees and the Dodgers have not been in a World Series amongst each other. The only reason why people would have interest in that game is because you end up having so much star power on both sides. You have a Juan Soto, a whole entire
They're
loaded
all-star
Yankee
games.
lineup, Otani, Freeman, Betts. I'm not saying I want to
What's
see the
wrong with
Texas
that?
Rangers, Arizona
You don't-
Diamondbacks World Series every year, but it's nice
That
to
got the
see that
lowest
every
rate.
once in a while, because the small market teams like the Guardians, they're suffering for the next 20 years, and I'm going to be in my 40s by then, and I don't want to watch baseball and suffer throughout that
Dude.
What do
many
you mean?
years.
We're gonna
of
win the
just
division this
bullshit.
year.
Can I say
We're gonna win
something?
the division this year.
Can I say something? Let me ask y'all something. How old is you, Casey?
25.
How old are you, Peyton?
27.
How old are you, CJ?
28.
Y'all are blessed. Cause
Yeah.
Ed, you're around you're in my
I'll be
neighborhood of
44 in
age.
March. I'll be 44.
So Ed will tell you about the times that we went to that old shit dump municipal stadium where it was more motherfucking vendors than the fans.
Yes.
Trust me,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have wanted to exist in them days where you knew the Guardians wasn't gonna be the Indians back then. You knew they wasn't gonna be shit. You knew just going in, you knew it was gonna be Boston, New York, maybe Toronto wasn't even shit back then. Boston, New York, Milwaukee,
Yeah.
and maybe Detroit. That was it. And in the AL West, it was Kansas City and the Angels.
Yes.
I think Casey knows how I feel about spending, though. Right? I'm looking at some of the high. Chicago White Sox had the 6th highest payroll last year. You want to do Chicago White Sox right now?
I'm not saying it works. I'm not saying it works.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, for me, and like, I know it was on Keith's wish list, and I've been, he's talking about getting an outfielder, and I was happy that he said, like, we got dudes down there and give them a chance. But there's so many of these people out there. Go sign this guy. Go sign this. Go sign an outfielder. Sign out. Well, who the hell do you want them to sign? You want them to go sign Hunter Renfroe, who's turning 33, and Jorge Soler, who can't play the field. Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley can't play the field anymore.
And Michael Brantley
got all
near
these guys.
36, 37 now.
It's just it's this idea in baseball that I looked at the Guardians the other day, and the lineup outside of Straw is not bad, but the Twins lost 2 starting pitchers. The Royals stink. Pretty much burning it down. They're going to trade and cease, and then the Tigers stink. They're going to win the division again.
DJ. But the thing is ESPN has even ended up saying that the Guardians will win the division, but their reasoning is because everyone else in the division sucks.
Thanks.
I don't want to be known as that Guardians fan. I don't want to be
the ideas of making moves of like,
but the years we have hype,
we need to do this,
so it's okay.
right? Oscar. It's not our fault. Oscar Gonzalez forgot how to hit a baseball, right? And he can't develop power, even though he's built like freaking a professional wrestler, and he can't hit the ball over the fence. If Oscar Gonzalez would have hit 25, 30 home runs, you would have won the division last year. Could have went to the World. Right? Once you get there, it's all about just getting there. You got the arms, you got a good bullpen. You just got to get there first.
And
because I want to say to Keith's point, because he makes a good point. Back in the 80s, obviously the Indians at the time, they sucked. Okay,
they're terrible.
And they couldn't compete.
The Indians weren't that great when I was
if you look at Major League Baseball now, if you look at Major League Baseball now,
in the 90s. They were bad in the early 2000s. They were good for like a stretch in the mid. They were terrible until like 13. They were awful in 08. They were good until 13. Then we've been consistently solid.
Right.
These last 10 years, if you could have taken these last 10 years of Guardians and put them in Browns, 10 times out of 10, I'm taking that.
And that's my point. Like people talk about Major League Baseball like it's so tough. Yeah, it's hard to compete with the Dodgers and Yankees on a payroll thing, but it's not hard. Look, you look at teams like the Nationals and things like that. If the Guardians actually get 1 or 2 more hitters, they could have won the World Series. They should have won it in 2016. Let's be real about it. We don't have to worry about like 1954 to 95 when the Indians sucked and couldn't get anything done. Since 95,
and you couldn't get out to 8, and you couldn't get out to 08.
Major League Baseball, you can win in Major League Baseball. Here's what you need: good scouting, good young players that actually achieve. Look at let's be real, Frankie Lindor. F you, buddy. Ball humbug to you, because you had a chance to be a hero in 2017, 2018, 2019, and you didn't do shit. Derek Jeter would have hit home runs and done shit in the playoffs. You didn't do shit besides that grand slam against the Yankees that we ended up losing anyway. So let's stop calling, you can't win a baseball. You need players to perform. And Frankie Lindor, you suck, and you always have sucked, and you always will suck. And I hate you, ball humbug.
Think about it. That's why the Yankees didn't want him. That's why he went to the Mets.
Yeah.
He was at the Magic game.
Queens.
That Cavs Magic game, he was in the front row. So.
I just think there's just like
better now. Good segment.
Baseball to me is super interesting. I think we're in a really interesting time. I don't know if the Dodgers are going to be able to hold this up. I think long term the Dodgers, and I said last week, right? I think long term, I'm going to stick with long term. The Dodgers are going to regret this Ohtani deal.
Yes, no matter who signed
the
it.
Payoff for it is with the deferment. It's going to hurt you in 10 years. It's going to hurt him in 5 years.
Oh, it's going to hurt in 20. It's going to hurt in 5.
It's going to hurt him even more in 10 and more in 20. Like this idea that the Dodgers can be able to print off money and like I don't buy it. Right? The Yankees spent a bunch last year. I'm not trying to take a shot at Keith, but they fucking. I gotta say, if I was a Yankees fan last year, that probably was the most frustrating shit in the world.
Dude,
how about the Padres?
I cried every time I got on this show. What I said,
like literally, he did.
Yeah.
Every time.
The Padres, you finally feel like you're in.
And the Padres are spending all this money.
One thing I will say about the Yankees and the Dodgers print money, but they also develop prospects.
They do.
Yeah.
The Yankees print money, but they haven't really spent as much as they used to spend back in the days. As compared to now, they're looking like the Guardians now as compared to the Yankees back then.
Yeah, Guardians and free agency.
Poverty ass franchise.
The Guardians have in free agency. We've outspent the Yankees. We've outspent the Red Sox and the Cubs. Dude, that 4 point whatever million.
Because think about this.
With Austin Hedges.
What the Yankees have took from the Guardians thing is they've made trades.
Yeah.
Soto trade. Stanton
I
trade.
like the Soto.
Judge minor league system developed.
It's just wild
Dodgers.
time.
You can go through the Dodgers' whole lineup, probably except for Ohtani and a few others, Freeman and company. They developed, and Mookie Betts. They developed a lot of other guys through their minor league.
Yeah, 3 of those are MVPs right there. So, yeah.
They still got to show up though in October, man. October is a
but
different.
Think about it. They moved off Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger's a big one.
Yeah, they moved off. They moved off the other guy, my guy Justin Turner.
The difference in baseball though is you got 162 games. You know, like that's the issue. Like in the NBA, you got 82,
and it comes down to 5 when you think about it.
Yeah, correct. You could play tough for all those games, but if you got a bad
week, and in the
playoffs,
it's interesting to see what the Dodgers will be. It's interesting to see how some of these teams will spend. Because even the ones that are like the broke
that 3 teams have fucking 8 MVPs, former MVP. That just is crazy to me. Like, it's just hard to understand that.
We're gonna have some fun because I love to do this. I got my pen. I got my paper. We're writing our not too early World Series predictions next year. CJ, who's in the World Series?
Don't let me go.
I'm writing them down.
I don't want to go first. All right,
Ed, you go first.
Well, that's easy. It's going to be your Cleveland Guardians versus the Dodgers of Los Angeles.
Okay, interesting.
I want to go last. Dibs on last.
CJ likes to copy. Mr. Swift.
Oh, fuck.
He's gonna
the way I'm gonna do this is AL Central, no one. I'm gonna run through here. AL East, I'm thinking possibly that's. I'm thinking possibly the Orioles, to be honest with you, just because young team.
Am I writing them down?
Hold on. Hold on.
Process of elimination here, Ed.
And I'm helping everybody else here. Let's all go through this.
This doesn't make for interesting podcasting right now.
It does.
All right, I got who I want.
Yeah, CJ.
Damn, I want to say the Cards like that so bad. Put the Guards as like an asterisk. We can't count them. Right. I want to say the Guards.
Okay.
You could count that as everybody's as the Guards in an asterisk.
I I think they're finally going to go over the hump. I think the Braves will win the World Series.
Okay.
I think the Braves are going to beat something in my heart. Oh my God, I don't want to say them either. Fuck, because they kind of suck. Give me Braves over Orioles.
Okay.
The team I wanted to say, but I didn't, was the Mariners.
Oh, come on. Yeah, so,
Interesting.
okay, me and him, we're on the same page. I was going
But
to
give me Braves, Orioles. I like Braves, Orioles. I don't think the Dodgers are going to make the World Series. And the other team that's sitting in the back of my head, because I think they're so fucking close, is the Phillies.
Yeah,
I love the Phillies.
Wow.
But I
You
just
took
think
that right
the
away from me.
Braves, right?
Those are the four
Braves
teams
are
I agree with
so
you.
close. The Braves have got to get over that hump. It's now or never in Atlanta. If they don't, who's the manager on this? Stinker? Like, I think
Tim Kirchin,
they
you
gotta-
said? Is that what you said?
I think Stinker, right? Brad Stinker.
Tim
that's his name?
Kirchin's not the manager.
I think the Braves are in like it's a now or never mode.
Yes. I was going to say the four. I agree. The four teams I say are the Braves, Phillies.
You only
Orioles,
get 2,
and-
Casey.
Then I'll go Mariners and Phillies just so I don't go with what he went with.
Yeah,
But
Mariners.
the second one would be what you said was the Orioles and Phillies.
I
don't
I'll
think
know
write
the
that
guards,
down
no, like,
because
as
Casey
goofy
gets
as it
2
sounds,
choices here.
talk
I'm just
myself
telling-
into the. For me, like I can kind of talk myself into the Guardians though, because
Well,
they
I'll put
have
that-
the
I know you'll be
pitching.
your
They
second
have
asterisk.
the pitching and bullpen,
Yeah.
and that's what matters. They got enough. If
Keith, can you just be normal and just give me 2 teams on like
these?
these yahoos?
Okay.
Can you
I'm
just
gonna
give me
be
2
like
teams?
ODB. We gonna take it back to 78.
Oh,
Yankees
Dodgers,
and
Yankees.
Dodgers. Yes, sir.
Dodgers, Yankees, 78. Yes.
It's for It's for Boone. Because if it's not,
Dodgers, Yankees.
he's gonna
Hey,
get
now we
one.
get
And
ODB
you
on the
know
show.
who?
The Dodgers do not win the division.
try.
Put that down next to mine. The Dodgers don't
Peyton,
win the
can
West.
you give me 2 teams, Peyton? Because everybody else cannot
I'm
besides.
telling you, but
I'm
the logic
thinking
makes
here.
sense for me and CJ. I don't.
So
The
for
lo-
the National League,
Ed, write that down next one. Dodgers don't win the West. I'm
Okay.
gonna say it. Dodgers
Yeah.
don't win the West. They're gonna be a wild card.
I say Houston doesn't. I guess they're done this year. So I think Houston's ALCS streak is not. It's over.
You guys got me writing down everything but the 2 things I asked you.
I gave you my teams. He's thinking we're buying Peyton time.
I
think
can't
he
take
could
you
see-
kids anywhere.
no, I'm
I can't
good.
take you kids anywhere.
ALCS could be Orioles and Rangers again for me though. I love what
honestly,
Rangers got going. No,
I
I'm
was-
saying I got O's winning it.
Okay.
They're young. Sometimes you got to get over that hump. But also, like in my head, it's like the Chicago Bears when they missed.
None of us are going to be
They're
right.
not
So
fucking
none
football.
of us are going to get this correct. I tell you that.
Ed, if
Fucking
one
want
of
to
you
be like
gets it
Pirates
right,
and
I heard there's
Royals.
a jersey that's possibly happening.
Hey, none of us are going to get
Yeah,
like
right.
fucking teams. This is fun.
I can't wait till
I mean,
October when I see CC throwing out that ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, for you're right. For the
And the Guardians uniform, baby.
That's
He'll be in a
Guardians
Yankees
jersey.
uniform throwing out that first pitch.
Charlie Sheen's going to come out for Game 7 now this year. who's
Did you
supposed to
know
play
who was
16.
on the last Yankees team that won the World Series? It was CC. It's gonna be Yankees and the Dodgers, and the Yankees gonna win it in 6.
For my team, National League,
Yes.
Arizona Diamondbacks make it back.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's so
Really
stupid.
young
What a waste.
team,
Why do we even
really
ask them?
tough.
They fucking won
For
80.
the AL though,
They're not even going to make the playoffs.
I'm gonna say the Rays.
Oh, I knew
Rays?
it.
Oh my God, that's even stupider than
I
what
called
they
him.
said when Herbert got caught. After Franco got caught, they weren't the same
Oh
team.
my goodness.
Nobody knows what's going on with Franco, my guy.
He's not coming back. They took all the stuff down.
They had that 14-year-old hack giveaway that same day. I told you, dude.
Bro, dude, there's no shot the Rays. The Rays don't even make the playoffs.
Franco
no, I
was-
disagree with you
They're
on that.
done. They're
Ed, make
done.
a list of all the teams that
Frank-
CJ said won't make the playoffs. You might.
Why don't I
Franco-
just make a list of the ones that he didn't?
I'm
say?
just gonna say this.
Done.
Franco was singing
Easier.
"Temperatures Rising,
It's the same with Giddy. Josh
your
Giddey.
body's yearning."
Baseball is different.
Not a little
Look
R.
at
Kelly
Ozuna.
here.
Ozuna never came back. Like
If I
baseball is
squint,
different. Franco, it's learn
Surviving
Japanese.
Franco.
brother. Get your ass over there.
Oh my god.
Whatever
I'm a-
team Trevor Bauer signs to, they're winning the World Series.
Well,
Check it in.
Put it
Full
on.
prediction.
Cleveland
Come on,
Guardians.
Remind me never
Don't
to
put
ask
them
you guys
pinstripes
predictions
on.
again. Never again.
We
Never.
do
Who's
not
their
think
Super
so
Bowl
much.
winners?
Come on,
Browns.
Trevor, put them pinstripes on.
You know what? Come Super Bowl week, I won't even ask you who's going to win because you guys will say teams that aren't even playing.
They'll tell you who
I mean,
won't make it. though.
everybody's an option, man.
We're deep thinkers, Ed. All right, we are deep thinkers.
We thought our
No,
process out
Ed.
together, and then Peyton Pate comes at us with freaking what do you say? Royals and Pirates.
Rays
Cincinnati
Comes at
Reds.
us with not-
Rays and D-backs.
Diamondbacks aren't even going to make the playoffs.
Ed, what happens is any
terrible.
predictions show is that for the Super Bowl show, you'd probably end up asking who wins the Super Bowl come next year.
Oh yeah, I should do
You gotta
that.
specify.
Right. That's fair.
What color are the logos? We need to
Yeah.
know. They're all
Oh.
fixed.
Yeah, remind me. This is definitely taking years off my life here tonight. A great show, guys, but definitely taking
What
years
was that
off.
JC,
prediction?
you win the
Guardians
best dressed award. Ed's gonna send it to your house.
Yes,
Miles
right.
Straw jersey. That's your award.
A signed 8x10 by Ed. Is that what I get? Or
Yeah.
Vince 8x10?
Well,
Hey,
we
you
got
know
about,
they exist. They're still out in circulation.
yeah, so we got about 6
posted
minutes to
on the
go in the
website.
show. Is there anything you guys want to hit off real quick? I mean, like I said, rapid fire. Anything you guys want to
Yeah.
do?
Here, one for me, real quick.
Yeah.
Last time I was here, what happened to Colorado?
Yeah.
That line, man. That line. That
He
line.
Yeah, they're not
He
ready
needed
yet.
some
It's
linemen.
still another year.
Well, I'll say
Yeah.
this about Colorado, right? I know they kind of stole the Colorado State game, but they stormed back against USC. They lost to Arizona on a field goal, like late. Like they played a lot better football. You could tell who watched Colorado football and who didn't. And at times,
Yeah.
that team at the end, man, that line was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I love
They
how
got
they hit the
Shador
quarter. I think
killed.
they got a guy coming in that's I think a 4-star or 5. I think he's a 4-star tackle. And they got like 6
Yeah.
more guys out of the portal. I think Colorado is
Yes.
gonna. I think they're like in like a. I think they're in like the goofy Big 12 next year because everything's changing. I
Oh,
think they're
yeah.
gonna be a top team out of that goofy Big 12.
Mm.
Yes.
But I still think they're gonna like. I think like 8 wins next year for Colorado.
And you got to think it was some good things came out this season, even though
I
they
do. They're
went
still
4-8.
getting guys in the portal, man.
Those
I know the
sunglasses.
portal,
Yeah,
But
the
think about it.
shades. Yeah.
Because think
We
about
should
it.
get those.
I seen his son when he played at Jackson State as opposed to when he played at Colorado. Dude improved a lot.
I think if he
Shador.
was in the draft this year, I think he would be the 4th best quarterback.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think
Speaking
he's
of
behind-
breakout news,
Penix.
Jaden Daniels is coming out for LSU, ranked by
Whoa.
ESPN as the 3rd best quarterback coming out. He is
I
coming
see.
out.
I think he's not the 3rd best quarterback. Or no, JD. I think JD. But he said Penix. I think yeah. that
DJ
team
also
would be
doesn't
behind
think
it.
water's wet, by the way.
He'd be behind. He'd be behind Caleb Williams, Daniels, and May. I just think Penix
Bo
just
Nix?
handed him a
Fuck.
220 skills.
Bo
Bo
Nix
Nix,
is
I don't think
100
is
years
that good.
old.
Michael Penix Jr.
He wins big games. He won that first big one, and I think his first year he won that opener against Oregon. He won that Iron Bowl, and I can't remember Bo Nix winning the big game after that.
He lost to Washington twice this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think
Yeah.
if I had like pick 5 quarterbacks this year, I think he'd be like 5th for me.
And you got to
I
look
think
at
he's
with
behind
Penix. Penix won in the Big Ten with Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He played tough
I
at
just
Ohio
think
State.
I have been
played
all
Indiana
in
West.
on Jaden Daniels since like late September, dude. Like I have been all.
I was all in on Michael Penix the whole year.
His story's good though, is Daniels. Just because everybody thought he was already like his old school, that nobody wanted him, that he wasn't doing anything, he's not going to be good enough, and then he won the Heisman.
I mean, he had a few games. Don't get me wrong. That Georgia Southern game like padded those stats a lot, and that Florida game like he went ape shit. But I think that he, to me, like Anthony Richardson went top 5 I believe before last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a better version of Anthony Richardson.
Oh.
I think he's better than Anthony Richardson.
What
Yeah,
are
yeah,
Richardson? Because he got hurt, so it's hard to see.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's hard to say, but I think he's a better version. Because I think he's about the same as a runner, but he's a much better thrower than Anthony
Much
Richardson.
better thrower, yeah.
Damn. Did you see that the Steelers KZ got suspended the rest of the year?
The rest of the season, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Mason
only 3
Rudolph
games
is
left.
starting this week too.
Merry Christmas, Peyton.
Yeah,
I know that
Humbug.
audio's out there, Peyton, man. I'm telling you, he said it.
Well, Rudolph on Christmas makes sense to me. Rudolph with your arm so whatever. Won't you
Can I-
guide Tomlin's sleigh tonight?
Can I say
But
this
on
to
the-
Peyton real quick?
Go for it, Keith. Let's hear it. It's going to probably hurt my feelings.
Good. Say it.
Sometimes when people was wishing for Kenny Pickett to be gone, be careful what you wish for.
Wishful.
Hey, I wasn't one of those people, unfortunately, but everybody said his hand
Because
size.
I'm going
was
to
too
tell you
small.
this. Pickett might not be the greatest, but the one thing Pickett hasn't done that Mitch Trubisky was doing, he was losing you games. He wasn't losing
Yep.
you games.
Peyton, I got to ask you something.
Wait, one more, though.
One
My
more, though.
closing
One
thought.
more, because we're almost.
Aaron
Is it-
Rodgers, does he play any more games
No.
this season now that the
No.
Jets are out?
No.
No. Is it time for a new voice in Pittsburgh?
No.
You don't think it's time?
I don't know.
There's a list going around. There have been 25 coaches that have won a playoff game since Mike Tomlin last one hit, and there's some fucking names on that list, like Mike Mularkey, Doug Marone's on it. Like, there's some names, man, and it feels like it's
Ron
been a long
Krasinski.
time. I think he hasn't won a playoff game since like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah, so Rob Krasinski was
Been a
2015 as a
while.
Browns head coach. That's
The thing is to like answer your question is I'd say I don't know because the coach that's in afterwards, the Steelers are a really good franchise when it comes to coaching. You had Chuck Noll, Bill Coward, and then Mike Tomlin.
I don't think they're
next
gonna.
name probably isn't gonna just fit in there, just like those.
They're
three.
not gonna fire him, but I'm just like wondering, like, do you feel like it's time to change?
your running back that year was D'Angelo Williams. So
Oh, that was back when he had the pink hair.
Antonio Brown, Marcus Wheaton, Heath Miller were your big.
I just think that like the
Graduate
Steelers, to
Antonio
me,
Brown.
the Steelers, I've never seen them look so chaotic. Like they look like I know they've got like what they got, like 7 wins or whatever. Like, but they look like they feel like the Browns. Like
A lot of those Steelers,
We know
former
chaos.
Steelers
George
players.
Pickens is losing his mind constantly. You know, you got that Johnson clip. They can't run the ball. Najee Harris looks like he's blind as a bat. Mitch Trubisky's throwing it over them mountains on 4th and 2. Like, the Steelers look like chaos, man.
Any video that you see recently, Ben Roethlisberger, Minkah Fitzpatrick's been around a little bit. Anybody,
Minka's
those are the
dirty
first
as
two
can
that come
be,
to mind.
fuck him.
Everybody is talking about the Steeler way, and people think they could put on the colors and they'll be
That's
relevant.
not a thing. That's the Patriot way. But even
I'm just
them,
saying with the video I saw
Minka
on social
Fitzpatrick
media,
did say that. Minka
Yeah,
black and
okay,
yellow,
this
you can
is
put on the
Steeler
colors
way.
and you think you play like
Yeah.
a Steeler, and people are losing the fact that they think they could just play a game and win. It doesn't work that way, and they're finding that out the hard way. I think if you fire Tomlin or you move on from him,
Who
the
is
only
you gonna get?
reasonable thing that happens is that you change the culture, and the culture needs to be changed when your former players are calling you out on your bullshit.
I just feel like a lot. The Steelers seem like fucking crazy this year.
It's fun to watch. As a Browns fan.
Correct.
I mean, it's hard to feel bad for a franchise and organization.
I have a question for 3 of you, not Keith, before we end. Because Keith's not gonna. I don't think Keith's gonna have input on this. I'd be shocked. But if you have input, Keith, feel free.
Okay.
I don't think you will, but CM Punk for you other 3 here.
Nobody gonna have him, but
There you go. What is your opinion right now? Quick
I'll go
opinion on
first.
CM Punk coming
Yeah,
back.
go ahead.
and everything.
All right, so I hated the fact he came back to WWE. I've been very against him once the AEW stuff happened. Now I'm kind of noticing that I'm paying attention once he came back to WWE. And I'm kind of on the front now that I don't like him, but he brings ratings and he brings a buzz, so I'm starting to watch because of him, and I'm starting to like
I gotta
him because
ask.
he's attention.
When that music hit on Survivor Series, did you pop?
Yes,
I
I
mean,
was
I
going to
didn't
say,
pop
I've
like
never
that.
Did you
seen
pop,
them do
baby?
that. After
No, like
the
it
logo
wasn't
popped
anything
up.
big. Like it was like
You didn't
so-
pop. You didn't
No.
pop. You were just like, oh, bullshit. I popped.
I did,
I popped.
and
I
I'm not
didn't
a
like-
CM Punk.
I
Is that
didn't
what the
like
kids
his-
do
I
now? They
didn't like
pop.
his
Is that what kids do?
I
They
didn't like his AEW run, but like, sometimes the guy, like I said it about like Juan Soto. I'm gonna point to Keith. I said about Juan Soto the other day. Juan Soto just looks right in them pinstripes. Like he just looks right in that ring. Like he just. It's one of those things, right? That's where he belongs, right? Brian Danielson's got to get out there, right? His fucking ass he's gonna die in AEW.
But like Moxley
Right.
seems like he's better in AEW.
Moxley
He
does. He's got
fits.
like that CZW shit to him.
Correct.
But like I think it's just one of the things. Like it feels right. You know, you don't want to erase what happened, and it's the thing. None of that bullshit's gonna happen there.
Correct.
But like, this feels like all right. He's back. Get the run he deserves, and just keep going for it. Like once he starts wrestling in the ring, I feel it's gonna be good. It's gonna be like must see TV again.
Correct. Plus, it's that mic ability I think is huge.
Yeah,
Because like
I think him and Rollins.
I'll stop and
is
watch
one
a
of the
video with him and
Clinton
him and Seth Rollins. Like I stopped and watched that.
Yeah.
Like
I watched it
I'll
live
tell you this,
because I
I
knew
got
it
a
was happening.
girl in one of my classes, right? After Raw was here, I think Raw was here, what, the 11th or something?
Yeah, last Monday.
Next day, CM Punk shirt on in my class. Right? It's like a 14-year-old girl.
If it was an LA Knight shirt, would you have said LA Knight? Yeah.
I would have said yeah.
Yeah.
Teacher CJ. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my take on it, Casey, is because I am part of the bloodline. Acknowledge me. I'll say this.
So,
anything that's good for WWE, they needed an influx, something different. They're cutting their rosters. They're trimming the fat. It's getting better. I can see some of the storylines going into WrestleMania. It looks like Orton versus Roman Reigns. It looks like obviously you got Rollins' title, but what you could have is Cody Rhodes going up against him. You could have Damian Priest cashing his money in the bank. You got CM Punk in the mix. Does CM Punk go after? You know what I'm saying? With Gunther, how long is he going to have the Intercontinental? You got a bunch of stars now, it seems like, and you got about 3 belts, and it just seems like they've gotten rid of that fat, and it's getting really good now. So I wasn't the biggest CM Punk fan. I never thought I don't know. He doesn't really do it for me. But you know what? He's fun. He's bringing ratings, and it's good for the WWE. And I'm all about the dollar, so make it hot.
For me, Raw changed
Top
quickly.
dollar.
Right? I was so sick of seeing Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn, and every Monday, right? So for a new, fresh Raw, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I agree. And like I said, I think that, like you said, he just brings eyes to it as well. But I've never seen. I thought there was no shot after that Survivor Series WWE logo pops up in the corner. If you've watched WWE long enough in your entire life, when you see that, the show's over. No one's coming out. Nothing's happening.
I saw it coming, though, because I went to Twitter, because I was on Twitter, because I was getting ready to go. I'm at my dad's, got my keys on and shit. I'm about halfway out, and I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweet, and he's back. I was like, oh, shit, Dad, don't shut it off yet. He came running back, and the music hit.
Once you see that thing, it's done. There's no shot that something's happening after that.
Copyright logo to end the show every time.
Yep. That's what I pop.
Speaking of ending shows, we have difficulty doing that. So here's what I want to do. I want to give up, because it's Christmas coming up. It's the first time we've all been here kind of together. So let's all take, I'll be like candidates during a debate here. We each get about 2 minutes, because if I just say go on, each of us will just go back and forth. 2 minutes to say whatever you got to say before our next show, which will probably be next Tuesday, because we do have the Christmas holiday next Monday. So whoever wants to go first, 2 minutes, get whatever you need to get out. Who would like to go first? Okay, this is going to be another 5 minutes.
I'll go first. I think with Christmas coming up, right, I'm just, last 2 weeks are just fun, right? It's one of those things. We come on here, we talk sports for 90 minutes or whatever, when we go over, and it's just, last week I forgot how much fun this was. So I look forward to Tuesday again, right? Because it's a good time to talk sports, and we're getting hit with a lot of football this week, and I love football and I love the Browns. It's more fun when the Browns are good to talk about good Browns.
I'll go next. I'll follow CJ. If you're enjoying the show, at We Like Sportz TC on Twitter. Follow me at Vince, CJ at Matt Wilson, Casey at Casey Katonski, Keith at K_Allen569. I got it right this week. At
the only people that
_8_ Columbus. And if you're interested and you want to be a guest on our show, reach out to us on Twitter. If you want to end up hopping on the show or have any guests that you have in mind, reach out to us. We could end up contacting them. But I agree, CJ. It's been a good time the last couple of weeks. Softball season. It's snowing outside. It's over with. Plenty of time now to spend some time with you guys and chat some sports.
Beautiful. Casey.
This is my long return after however many months that was. Couple months at least.
You didn't say
finally Casey's come back home. But no, I agree. Same with CJ. I haven't been on in a while, but it's fun. Always is. I'm waiting for Peyton to start sending me some of my royalty checks over here so that he could convince me to spend more time here. But
that company credit card never came.
I'm waiting for that company credit card to get
definitely
done. I don't know where that's at, but maybe it's at my house in Cleveland. Maybe up in February. I can pick it up then.
Yeah, the other Ed ends up having it. He's been using it for bowling.
Yeah, right. Ed in Cleveland's been using it. But I would say, all I say is I think Ed needs to drive his ass up to Cleveland in February so we all 5 of us can have a show.
I would do. Okay.
That's what I think we should do.
That sounds like a good idea. I like that. Have a couple drinks.
Finally, Eddie Columbus has come back.
Have a Rumble party.
To bowling.
Is there an AEW show at that time?
There might be.
I think they're getting Stan Hansen to a
finding out.
show. I think they're getting Stan Hansen.
In Akron, it's even halfway.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Ed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't mind going to Cleveland. I don't mind my native soil. That is my native soil.
But yep, it's a pleasure. There's a chance I'll be on next Tuesday too as well because I don't think anything's going on. So, and I'm off work that day. So,
what are you going to be dressed in? What kind of suit jacket you got coming next?
I don't know.
week?
I blew my load this week, so I don't know.
Hey, it's always good to do that though. Whenever you end up getting your opportunity to, you got to do what you got to do.
Every time if we got a full boat like this, I got to blow the load when the full boat's here.
Speaking, okay, Keith. After that, I don't know how to follow that one.
All right. First, I like to wish you all, everybody watching, everybody on the show today, a happy holiday. I'm happy because everybody's on here at the same damn time. It's the first time it's been like that. Ed, CJ, Casey, Peyton, and myself, all at the same time. That is a wonderful thing. And since it's during the holiday season, it's special as well. And I just wish all y'all a safe holiday. And that our team, the Browns, keep it going.
And for, what's the dog's name again, CJ?
I got both.
Oh,
What are the
nice.
dogs' names?
Chip and Duke.
And for Chip and Duke, Ed, take it away.
Well, I want to say Merry Christmas to all our fine listeners of the We Like Sportz Show Nation. Also, I do want to give a shout out to a couple gals that I've been on a podcast with, and because I love to spread the love and they give the love right back. But Holiday Squad Pod tomorrow with Yvette, Lysandra, and Lana Stefanski girls. So shout out to them. Also shout out to my guys, and also shout out to Drew. I know Drew sometimes he comes in big Giants fan, but shout out to Drew. But hey, the more the merrier. I always say the show was great tonight because of CJ and Casey and Keith and Peyton. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing. I know I'm great. You know I'm great. That's why I do my thing. But you guys make me great. So I always appreciate you guys. Going to have a Merry Christmas. Going to have a great show next year. Even CJ's doing the Ed in Columbus, right? Love it right there.
I got
also,
a tattoo to my body.
guys, anybody that's watching the show, please feel free to hit us up on X. Give us some show suggestions. Give me some Break Ed news. Give me anything you want to see in 2024. We're doing big things. So we want you along with us on the ride and the journey that we're going on because we're going places. And so, yeah, we can't wait. And it'll be New Year's. And enjoy the bowl season. Enjoy sports. We like sports, but we love you. And we'll see you next time, next Tuesday on We Like Sportz. Peace.